What is the best CRM system for a pool, spa, or home improvement store? I'm so glad you asked. As is typical and part of my series of marketing tips from wherever I am today, I'm Scott from the Get Smart Group, and right now I'm driving through the bleak and foggy Central Valley of California and figured I'd take some time to get these things out of my brain and hopefully help you a little bit today. So, CRM generally stands for Customer Relationship Management. There's a couple of other interpretations of that, but I like that one the best. And they all mostly do the same thing at a baseline level, right? Keep track of names, emails, phone numbers, multiple people within a company, or past notes or sales history or whatever it happens to be that you need to be paying attention to do a good job for managing that relationship and eventually selling to these people. Long time ago, when we first got into our marketing company, Allie and I started this company in 2009, we were building on top of a platform called Infusionsoft, and that then turned into Keap, and then it's turned into Thryv, but we stopped working with Infusionsoft a number of years ago because they just weren't keeping up with the times. Then we switched over a lot of our work to ActiveCampaign, and we still support and work with ActiveCampaign. And then now we're platinum partners with HubSpot and absolutely love the HubSpot platform for all things pool, spa, home improvement, and retail. It's a very, very, very powerful tool and does a lot of things. Let's talk about a couple of just the baseline things that I look for and that I recommend, kind of based on where a company is size-wise and kind of business journey-wise, if you will. So at a baseline, when it comes to any of these products in home improvement or swimming pools or hot tubs or saunas or general wellness, we consider these to be, in most cases, what we call a big ticket long sales cycle item, right? So it's expensive. It's not something someone just walks in and buys on an impulse. There's an education process to it, and in many cases there's some additional home improvement that goes along with it. Upgraded electrical or concrete or burying gas lines, all of the fun stuff that goes along with all of this stuff. And so you've got an education problem, right? You need to educate these leads. And while salespeople can do a very, very good job of educating someone, the modern consumer really wants to educate themselves on their own timeline. Now, as an aside, this is why your website should be full of very useful information, lots of narrative information on how to purchase, how to care for, how to think about, how to select the best products for them. All of that should be included on your website. Your salespeople should be well versed in this, but you also need to have, especially during the sales process, an email automation component to what you're doing. Okay, so you need to have an educational kind of extra magical salesperson in the cloud that's running off of your CRM system that is emailing your leads with information specific to the product that they were interested in. You don't want to send a pool customer information on patio furniture during the initial part while they're still trying to figure out what kind of pool they want, right? You need to kind of back up, segment your list, and give them information that only they want. So that's kind of point number one, is that whatever you choose, and again, that's why we went with ActiveCampaign and HubSpot, they're both very strong in this area, is just automating that lead flow and process so that your leads are educated and nurtured even if they've gone cold or even if your salespeople are up to other things in the process. So that's part number one, is the automation side. And we can get into texting and everything else in another conversation. But the second piece of this is really understanding your ad dollars and how they actually turn into sales. Because when you're talking about these big ticket, long sales cycle items, money spent in 1 month, so let's say it's January, and you spend $5,000 in January to generate a certain number of leads. In most cases, not all of those leads, I would say in all cases, not all of those leads are going to turn into revenue in January when you spent the money. In fact, for hot tubs, it can be 6 to 9 months. For pools, it can be 1 to 2 years from when you originally spent that money to when it turns into revenue. So being able to track that ad spend to contact creation to nurturing the lead and the contact to customer and giving you money, right? Presumably is what you want at the end of the day. A good CRM is going to track all of that. Now, ActiveCampaign does an okay job of that. HubSpot does an A+ job of that. If you're doing any sort of, 3 million plus, basically, in some cases a little bit less, HubSpot is by far the way to go when it comes to what CRM are you going to choose for your business, because it gives you this actionable information to understand where your ad dollars are going and whether or not you're actually getting a return that's acceptable to you on those ad dollars. Because even looking like for hot tubs, for example, even looking for, let's say you spend $5,000 in January and you look at how many hot tubs did I sell from February 1st to March 31st based on that ad spend in January, that's not going to give you the full picture. You've got to wait till June, till September, in some cases a year, to really see whether that money came back. Because then what happens is you understand your close rate, right? So you can know that for every qualified lead you get, you close 25% of them. And then that backs into what I call your instantaneous metric, which is how many leads did you get for that money. So you spent $5,000 in January, you're going to get a certain number of leads. If your lead cost was $100 a lead, you're going to get 50 leads, right? And then you know that's going to turn into maybe 13 hot tubs over the next 6 months. So that's the kind of data that you need to be paying attention to. And this is kind of on the esoteric side, because CRMs do a whole lot more to help manage a sales team and just generally help run your business and really make your marketing sing. But from actionable data that's useful to your business to make decisions on ad spend, on commission, on salesperson performance, all of it comes back to whether you're able to track that ad spend and whether or not you're able to nurture those customers who came in, or those leads who came in, who your salespeople may not be willing to follow up with because they went cold. But the CRM doesn't care. It's going to keep nurturing those leads until they tell you to pound sand or until they buy something from you. So, as always, I hope you learned something today, and you can get in touch with us at thegetsmartgroup.com. Have a wonderful day.